Kevin, thank you so much for coming up here all the way from Delaware, and we wish you the best of luck. Okay, now the next person we're going to hear from is the Cherry Hill Tea Party spokesperson, John Sullivan.
Thank you, Terry. At the risk of repeating what others have said, I think one very clear point today in the court's decision was that they approved this mandate as a tax. And if you'll recall, of course, the president has said that this is not a tax. But in fact, the court said this is the tax. And in fact, it is the largest tax increase in U.S. history. So I think when folks go to the polls in November, they need to bear that in mind. And as all of you know, the Tea Party stands for Taxed Enough Already. And certainly our members are going to be reinvigorated and further invigorated by the outcome today. As an attorney and someone who has worked on Supreme Court matters in the past, I can tell you that this court is loath to interfere with the separation of powers issues. While they have not approved the mandate from a moral, ethical, or substantive standpoint today, they recognize that it is not the judiciary's role to interfere with legislative decisions. And that's why it is so important in November that we put in a new Congress, a new House, a new Senate that is comprised of people who are fiscally responsible. Now, when Governor Romney, as Terry mentioned, visited our group back in April for our Tax Day Tea Summit, he said that his first priority would be to repeal Obamacare. And I think the governor is very wise, and anyone who has a legal background would tell you, probably the odds were, despite what the media was saying, that the court would not interfere with the legislature, in this case with our Congress. So he was wise to recognize that his first priority will be repealing this act. In New Jersey, we suffer, as you all know, as many states, or every state for that matter in the U.S., suffer from very high unemployment. And unfortunately, this administration has made a health care reform bill that ultimately will be repealed as priority. And it will be a $2 trillion expense on the American public. It's already cost over 50.4 million man-hours to comply for businesses and other entities, including governmental entities at all levels, to comply with this bill. So in the instance of fiscal sanity, we call upon Congress to revisit this bill in November, and we are optimistic that Governor Romney will put the final blow to the bill, or to the act, excuse me.
Last but certainly not least is John Featherman. He's the congressional candidate for the Pennsylvania Congressional District number 1.
Hey, it's great to be here, everybody. I see a lot of great friends. So I want to give a history lesson today because I think it's very appropriate, especially for my friends in the media. On November 3rd, 1948, the Chicago Tribune, the day after the presidential election, in which you had incumbent Harry Truman being challenged by former New York Governor Thomas Dewey, the headline in the Chicago Tribune read, "Dewey defeats Truman." Now, I remember that because today it was funny, I was listening to CNN, and CNN originally said and posted on its website that Obamacare had been overturned. And of course, everyone followed suit, all the major news channels, and they just had to issue a retraction. The same way that I think the media got bought into this hype, so did the politicians. We have a saying that if it smells like a tax and it acts like a tax, it is a tax. And the beauty is that the Supreme Court did say this, in fact, is a tax. And right here in the city of brotherly love, we know what a tax is. Because if our mayor can't increase taxes, real estate taxes, through the actual value initiative, he taxes what we drink. He taxes our sodas. And if they can't do that, well, what did they do this past week in City Council? They taxed businesses coming into Philadelphia, the UNO tax, the use and occupancy tax. And those politicians in Philadelphia will learn the same way that Barack Obama will learn as well. So folks, I choose to see this as a very positive item that Barack Obama's legacy will be, and it's just so ironic, it will be that he leveled the highest tax burden on the middle class of America. Pay up and get your insurance or pay $2,000. And it's a beautiful thing because right now it's the Tea Party that represents the middle class. Yeah!
Thank you very much, John. We very much appreciate your being here today. This concludes our press conference, at least the speech end of it. Are there questions for anyone here? Anyone in the press have a question? Okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Was this a rally or was this a press conference?
This was a press conference, not a rally.
We didn't try to
And-
did we try to get people?
We didn't, this was not a rally. We weren't going for big numbers here. We just wanted enough people today to represent our organizations, and I think we got that. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Wait, are we done for the rest of the day?
No, we got one.
Huh?
Where's Bob?
Yeah.